Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do one of my favorite things, and that is to go over my seasonal capsule wardrobe. I love doing this, and if you're already a subscriber, I'm sure you've seen me do quite a few of these already because it's something I really enjoy doing. I think especially because when I first got into doing capsule wardrobes, I had this idea that this is something I'll do once, I'll create the perfect capsule wardrobe and I'll never have to think about it again. And boy was I wrong. This is very much a work in progress. It's something that evolves, and that has become sort of part of the fun with it. I get to challenge myself. I feel like I learned so much about my own personal style, and it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to have fun with fashion in a sort of more focused way. So today, obviously, we're doing my summer capsule wardrobe. A lot of these pieces are new, whether they are new purchases or if they are just things I've pulled from my wardrobe. Sometimes, or quite often, things carry over from one season to another in my capsule wardrobes, as you will have seen. But this particular one feels different. I just feel like I need quite a bit of variety when it comes to a summer capsule wardrobe to fit all of the different weather we have essentially up here in Scandinavia. I think this might be 30 pieces, including the accessories, which I don't think is too bad. I'll go over my sort of basic everyday casual essentials, and then my more elevated everyday essentials, and then true personality and more dressy pieces that I add in to have more fun with my capsule wardrobe. But quickly before we get into the capsule wardrobe, I just wanted to do a little update on this pillow. I did a collaboration with this brand Sleep and Glow a couple of months ago, and I talked about how much I love this pillow and how great it's been for my sleep. I wanted to share that they have a birthday sale going on. They very kindly offered me a code that I could share with you that gives you 15% off for a couple of weeks in July, and they only do this once a year. So if you have been thinking about this pillow, now really is the time. And if you haven't heard about this pillow before, it's designed for those of us who are side sleepers and we get those wrinkles on the face that, yes, they do go away during the day, but they become more and more permanent over time. Sleep and Glow have done quite a lot of research on this that is really fascinating if you want to have a look. But I have become completely dependent on this pillow because I don't wake up with those sleep wrinkles or the puffiness anymore, but also because I just have so much less tension in my body when I use this. I don't go a single night without sleeping with this. I take it traveling. I have noticed that it is highly uncomfortable to scroll on your phone and also use this pillow, which means that I have saved myself hours of that doom scrolling before bed. Very surprising, but I now associate putting my head on this pillow with just going to sleep. Either way, if you use the code SandraS15, you will get 15% off until 21st of July. I'll pop the code and the link in the description box below so you can check it out. I am really loving this one still, so I just wanted to share that little update. Let's get back to the capsule wardrobe. I want to start with the most basic pieces, the things that make up a lot of my outfits that I wear on a very much a daily basis, things that I can essentially pull on without really thinking much. That is going to be, first of all, denim. It's not overly hot here in Scandinavia, at least not now. So I have two denim options for my bottoms. I have a pair of denim jeans. These are a little bit sort of darker blue than I typically would have gone for summer, but I just have been loving the cut of these so much that I chose them over a lighter pair I have. These are the column jeans from COS. They are high waist and they have a wide leg. I just feel like they fit me quite well and they're really flattering with lots of different tops. Ever since I got them, I put them in my capsule wardrobes. I have them in black as well. Really like them. So quite a few days, it's actually cool enough that I can wear a full long leg jean, but for those days that are a little bit warmer, thankfully we do have those as well. I have a pair of shorts, and these are much more in that summery color, I think, that I would typically go for, but I didn't want to buy a new pair of jeans when I love these so much. I felt like I could get by with them. So I have these shorts. They're pretty basic. They have a little bit of distressing on the side here, so they're really not extreme one way or another. They're not overly long, but they're not very short either, especially considering where I would actually wear denim shorts. And of course, it doesn't get more basic than to pair that with a boxy t-shirt. These are the Arquette heavyweights. I have put these in every single capsule wardrobe since I bought them, but for those days that are a little bit warmer, you can't beat a tank top. I have a few white ones as well. They're all in the wash, so we're just gonna have a look at this black one, but black and white for both of these very, very basic tops. And then I like to have something that is a little bit more elevated, but still not over the top. So a pair of tailored trousers tend to always be present in my capsule wardrobe. This is no exception, but for summer, I always make them linen. It's my favorite thing ever. They're still a little bit sort of more pulled together, but they're just way more laid back because of the texture and the sort of relaxed, slightly wrinkled effect of the linen. And I do think they are fantastic. Again, I have them in white, more of a natural color really, and then in black. They were just fantastic. These are, I think they're both from Arquette. I love their linen and their tailored trousers. Just really, really good. And these go with the more dressy tops and they go with the more basic tops like t-shirts. So they really are some of my most worn pieces for summer. I do love them. They just have that comfort factor, especially when I feel like denim is either too hot or too clammy, just too tight, something that I don't want. When I want something super, super comfortable, I always reach for these. And you will see there is quite a bit of linen in my summer capsule wardrobes. It's just my favorite material for summer. It's so cooling and beautiful. I love the texture of it. I do also have a linen shirt. I have another white one that I can't find, which is very annoying, because I've been meaning to put that in my capsule wardrobe and I don't know if I've just lost it, but I have this natural one that is an old one from H&M. I love having one or two linen shirts as well in my capsule wardrobe. It goes with the linen trousers, but it also works really well with the jeans, the denim. It works well with the skirts I have. I just think the comfort level can't be beat, especially for how good linen pieces look. So let's talk about two pairs of shoes that I wear a lot with these outfits. Personally, I feel like a version of a white sneaker is always going to be in my capsule wardrobe, along with a pair of really simple slip-on sandals. These are not the most comfortable to walk in for very long periods of time, but I wear them so much. These are from Zara. I bought them, I think, last year. However, I feel like they make this style again and again and again. I feel like I've seen it every single year from most shops, essentially. So out of the shoes I have in this capsule wardrobe, these are definitely the sort of essentials. A pair of sandals and a sneaker. And I make sure I have a tan belt to go with the tan sandals and a pair of brown sunglasses. Something that is just a little bit warmer and softer for summer, I think is great. Let's move on to the more elevated pieces that start to make a capsule wardrobe fun. And especially those times when I've put together a capsule wardrobe and I feel like this is not inspiring, this is boring me, this is just, why am I even doing this? This is just taking all the fun out of getting dressed when it's supposed to make it easy and more fun. And that typically happens when I've just put in the most basic, boring pieces. They are necessary, but they're not really enough, I don't think. Shall we start with dresses? Because obviously I feel like that is such a big part of getting dressed during the summertime, and you only have to worry about accessorizing it. It's not really trying to put together too many different things. It's a really easy way of getting dressed. One of my new favorite pieces for this summertime. I've talked about this, I've shared it in a couple of videos, at least one video already, and that is this beautiful polka dot full length, really wide skirt linen dress that I was really kindly gifted by a company called Son de Fleur. I absolutely love them. If you're looking for sustainable, slow fashion, look no further. They do the most beautiful, classic, timeless pieces, and they use linen. They use really beautiful finishes in their garments. They're not the least expensive, but in my experience, having used this dress for a while now, having inspected it, I'm really impressed with the attention to detail. It's a really well-made dress and the linen is beautiful. I do feel like you get a lot for your money, especially for how much fabric actually goes into creating this dress. Obviously, it has pockets, and when I unboxed it, it came with a little note in it as well, just all of these personal details. I think it is just a beautiful company. I like having some print in my capsule wardrobe, and I think doing it in a dress can be hit or miss. It can very easily be a dress that feels like it's too special, like a little bit too much to repeat wear it as much as we actually want from the items in our capsule wardrobe. But on the other side, having a printed dress is a great way of adding print and fun and interest without needing it to match with the tops or the bottoms because it's just one piece. It's always going to work. And I do really love this one. And because it's a wrap dress, this is really easy to make it you just cinch it in and make it fit essentially. I feel like this is the type of dress that is going to look good on so many different people. And my absolute favorite thing about this dress is that it has that twirl factor. When you turn around, it feels so feminine because it just flows so beautifully. It's such a magical feeling. I can't get enough of this dress. And the other dress I added is obviously a blue color, and I do really enjoy adding color for the same reason I love adding print into my dresses, because it's just one piece and I don't have to stress with it fitting all the other pieces in my capsule wardrobe, because I am typically wearing this on its own with accessories. That is also why I add quite a few dresses to my capsule wardrobes, because I feel like one isn't enough when you can't rely on a lot of layering, because it would just be too hot. And this one isn't quite as dramatic. You don't have that twirl effect. It's not quite as feminine, but because it doesn't have that V-neck, I feel like it's a little bit easier to wear for things like work. But I do feel like it's a little bit elevated. It's adding a little bit of fun, but it's still really quite easy to repeat wear. Another example of a piece that is really elevating the foundation of the capsule wardrobe is this top right here. This is from COS, and I showed a black version of this in my most recent haul. I also just love the white for summer. It's obviously not the most practical, so I was debating adding both of these into my capsule wardrobe, but again, try not to go too overboard with all of the items. It's in cotton and it's super comfortable to wear. It has that like elastic ruching to give it a lot of interest. Otherwise, it's a fairly simple top. The shoulder straps are adjustable. I just think this adds so much style through being a little bit more sculptural and just more interesting. And I think a really good example of this is adding it with the jeans, because it makes jeans look so much more fun and elevated, and it works with pretty much every single bottom I have in this capsule wardrobe. So it's a really great top that I feel is basic enough to be in a capsule wardrobe still, but it's just a little bit, it just adds a little bit more interest. It makes it a little less boring, I think. And the same really can be said of this Massimo Dutti skirt that I also have talked about a lot on this channel. I think this has just enough interest and detail to not be completely basic. So it's made in this material that is intentionally, it has this little crinkle to it. So even though the silhouette is fairly basic, this A-line skirt, all the volume and how flowy it is, it makes it really feminine and a little bit more of a statement, but definitely without trying. So it's not drawing too much attention to itself. It's still really easy to repeat wear, and I feel like it pairs really well with a top that is both super basic and a little bit more of a statement. So it's really versatile. I absolutely love this skirt. I've put it in my most loved pieces as well, and unfortunately I think they've stopped making it. But I've seen a lot of skirts like this, a lot of these like cotton poplin skirts that are like have lots of volume. They're probably going to do the same job. Now, I have one more skirt, and we are veering into like very strong personality pieces here. And I always say I like to have at least one outfit that seems like it does not belong in a capsule wardrobe, because I've found that it just gives me so much more joy when I'm putting together outfits. And preferably this is a top and a bottom, so I can pair them together. They should look good together. They should look good with all the other pieces, but it just is that like jolt of energy and color and print or whatever it is. I hesitate to say it's dopamine dressing because that brings to mind really strong color, but just something that makes you feel like, oh, this is unique and I feel special. And maybe it's not, actually it's definitely not the most worn pieces in the capsule wardrobe, but they bring so much joy that I think it's really important to have them. Enough talk. What I have chosen this time around is this incredibly cute set. So gingham trends every single summer. I've seen it this year as well. And we have this top that is actually, it has a lot of similarities to the white top I just showed you because it has that ruching and a slight, I want to say it's almost like a slight peplumy vibe without it being an actual peplum top. It's just fitted in the waist and then it hits out a little bit. And this one, I just think it's so cute. It's obviously very much, and I do think it's adding such a statement. And I can wear both of these together for a really strong impact look, and I just love having that option for those days where I feel like I don't want to be basic today, I want to be out there. but they also work fantastic with the other pieces in the capsule wardrobe. And because I've limited the amount of print I have for the rest of the pieces, it's really easy to pair this gingham with the other items I have. And this skirt is such a statement. I would pair it not with all, but most of the tops I have. But I do think it really shines when I just have a simple tank top with it. And the skirt is just allowed to be the star of the show. And it's just something I've started doing in all of my capsule wardrobes because I just notice I like them so much more. And both of these pieces, obviously from the same shop, they are bought individually, but they are from Arket. I think they're just beautiful, cotton, really soft quality. They're really, really comfortable. I love this skirt as well. That is just definitely something I haven't had much of in my wardrobe, and it's just so different. I bought this not too long ago, so we're still in the finding out whether this was a good purchase or not phase. Right now, I obviously love them, but we shall see. We need to get the cost per wear down. I also have this silk striped shirt. Again, as you can tell, it's very minimal with print, but I do love a stripe for summer. And this one is really, really good. I had it in my spring capsule wardrobe as well. And I love that it's a little bit more of a dressy texture. It has that slight sheen to it. And because of the print, it's still quite easy to dress down, so it works really well with the denim that I have. And I feel like this works with most of the bottoms apart from this very strong statement skirt that I have. So I really like it because it is really light and breathable. I can wear this either on its own with some of the bottoms that I have, or I can wear it as a layering piece, which I quite like to do. I do this with the linen shirt that I showed at the beginning as well. So I wear just a tank top and then I layer this over the top, especially for those days where I feel like I need a layering piece, but I don't want a heavy layering piece. And maybe even those days where I just want a little bit of shade from the sun. But speaking of layering pieces, I do also have a few of those. So I have this cardigan right here, which is a more casual layering option. This is also a fairly recent purchase from Arket. And I really love this. Obviously, it's in a fantastic neutral color. It's not too cool, it's not too warm. And because this is in cotton, it's not overly warm, so it's perfect for summer. I wear this on its own as a top because I love doing that with cardigans, but it's also obviously a fantastic layering piece, both over the dresses and the tops that I have. So I really love it. And again, I think accessories are so important in a capsule wardrobe. I find that when I'm really bored with my capsule wardrobe, it's usually lacking either a couple of statement pieces or accessories. Accessories just make or break an outfit. We all know this. We haven't talked handbags yet. And one of my most recent purchases had to go straight into my capsule wardrobe. I just did an unboxing of this if you want to see it more in detail, but it is the Demelier New York Midi Tote. Love this thing, and when I bought it I knew that if I liked it enough obviously to keep it, this would go straight into my capsule wardrobe. I absolutely love it. It's a fantastic day tote that I am hoping I will get tons of wear out of for the summer. I think this is one of the most perfect bags to put into a capsule wardrobe because it just nails that elevated, understated luxury look. It's adding a little bit of a statement to an outfit, but not so much that you don't feel like this can be your everyday bag. Another option that I got recently, and I knew this would be something that I put straight into my capsule wardrobe, is this beautiful handbag from RSVP Paris. This one's in a smooth leather and it is a bucket bag, and this actually fits quite a lot, and I love having this for summer. There's just something about the look of this that makes me feel effortlessly cool and laid back, and it still fits a fair amount of stuff in it. Obviously you can close this on the inside. A bucket bag is dangerously open and easy to be stolen from, but because you have this drawstring, it does actually close like really tight like that. So I do feel like it's surprisingly secure when I carry it out and about. And again, when it comes to a capsule wardrobe, I feel like it's all about having a handbag that is a little bit of a standout, but not too much, like finding that perfect balance of something that is going to add a little bit of extra to all of your outfits because they tend to lean on the more basic side. You don't want it to be a handbag where you feel like I've worn this twice already this week, it's probably enough. And before we move on to the shoes, this handbag right here, I've made a review of it, I've talked about it at length. A raffia handbag is an absolute must in my summer capsule wardrobe. The reason I absolutely love this one, I knew it had to go into my capsule wardrobe, is the fact that I feel like it's not overly beachy. I love the beach, I'm not there nearly as much as I wish I were during the summertime. So for me, it wouldn't make sense to put a purely straight up beach bag into my capsule wardrobe. And I feel like this one is fantastic for adding a little bit of a summery touch to even basic like jeans and a t-shirt type of outfits. So it just is super, super versatile. Now, I also have a couple of shoes that I think go in this elevated essential category, and they are both sandal adjacent, let's say. And firstly, I have a pair that is really new to my channel. I don't think I've talked about it yet. And it is this pair of Gunny buckle ballerina flats. Absolutely love these. I have been looking at these for, I would say, over a year probably. I think they are super, super cool. They are in the black leather version. A lot of these come in faux leather, so if you're interested, I thought I'd just share that they're not actually all made in leather, which I think is a real shame for the price of these. But you do have the black ones in leather. They also come in faux leather, so just make sure. But I do think these are fantastic in a capsule wardrobe because I love adding personality and interest to my outfits through the footwear. Even though they are very much playing on being an ugly shoe, I absolutely love it. And the next pair is also an ugly shoe, and I want to say that it's an even uglier shoe. Really selling this well here. And this is also a recent purchase, but I have shared these quite extensively on my channel since I got them. They are the COS Fisherman sandals, and these have such divided opinions on them. Let's be honest, it's an ugly shoe. I think even if you like these, you're going to agree this is not a feminine shoe that is made to look pretty. But I love them. I love an ugly shoe for dressing down very feminine outfits, for adding a little bit of cool girl effect to them. They're also by far the most comfortable sandal I probably have ever owned. They are like, they have a slightly cushioned sole, so they're super, super comfy. And I love having a sandal with a closed toe for those days where you don't really want to wear a pair of loafers or even sneakers. You want lots of air, but still not really like the toes on display. Hopefully that makes sense. I think this is just a perfect option for that. And then also sunglasses. So I have a black pair of cat eye sunglasses. I love these for something that is a little bit different, something that is, again, a black accessory to go with the rest. And then I'm noticing that I'm liking weird accessories more and more, especially for sunglasses and for shoes. But I also bought these sunglasses fairly recently. They are from COS. They have that ombre effect. And these as well just add a lot to very, very basic outfits in terms of being a little bit more of a statement. I really like to inject some personality and statement pieces through the accessories because they're so much easier to repeat wear than statement clothing, which just is a little bit more obvious when you wear them a lot. Accessories take less space and are much easier to get your cost per wear out of as well. Now, we have more dressy pieces, and these aren't necessarily pieces that I don't actually wear a lot because I do, but I thought we would just have those here at the end. And let's look at some clothing. So obviously, I'm going to pull out my Balia dress from Reformation. It's a little bit more dressy because of all of the feminine details and because it's more low cut. You have this ruched bust, and I think this is a beautiful quality and it's actually really versatile. So I can wear the cardigan over it if I want to dress it down a little bit, or I could just wear it on its own, and I can wear it with some heels that I'll show you, some really dressy accessories, and it's a really, really versatile dress that you can dress up or down. Absolutely love it for that. And for me, I couldn't put together a capsule wardrobe for summer without a white linen dress. I absolutely love this one. It had to be in here. I've also filmed a review. I'll link it if I've posted it. I do think it is a fantastic dress. It's a little bit more expensive, but I envision myself putting this even in my capsule wardrobe for next year. So a really, really great find. A little bit more on the dressy side, but that doesn't mean that I don't wear it for non-dressy things. I think that is what makes summer so much fun. We can wear so many dresses and it feels like dressing up a little bit more easily, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a huge occasion just because you're wearing a pretty dress. But I do also have a dress that I definitely feel like I need an occasion to wear, and I have actually worn it 3 times already, so I have found ways to wear it, and this is an area where I would have kind of liked to have a different dress, I'm not gonna lie. So the story behind this dress is I made it. So I love putting something I have made into my capsule wardrobes as well. And this yellow dress right here, I made it out of a linen fabric. It's really quite heavy, it's really comfortable to wear, but this is quite low cut and it has these ruched sections at the side in the skirt here, so it feels quite extra. It's really feminine. I do love it. Again, it has, same as with a polka dot dress, that sort of swish factor when you move. I definitely feel amazing when I put it on, but it just isn't the type of dress I would go to a coffee date in, whereas the white dress definitely is. So I wasn't entirely sure on whether I should put this into my capsule wardrobe, because if I wear this, let's say a couple of times a month, that is still trying to find a few occasions to wear it, and I don't feel like that's maybe enough for a capsule wardrobe. But I put it in because I want to also have one more properly dressy dress in here, and I've been meaning to add a slip dress, but I am picky. I am not adding a slip dress in anything but silk at this point because that is what I want. Until then, this is doing the duty of more dressy dresses. So there we are, that's the dress ramble over. A couple more dressed up pieces. I have this waistcoat right here, and this is just adding instant polish to any of my bottoms that I have. I think it works with all of them, and obviously if I pair it with this gingham one, it's giving so much contrast. I feel like it's really, really cool, obviously because this waistcoat is pinstriped as well. It really works with the skirts. It gives such a different look to all of it, so you can get something that is contrasting. I can dress up the denim with it, and it obviously works really well for a more tailored look with the linen trousers I have. I just think it is a beautiful piece that is adding so much fun to my outfits. It's definitely a bit more of a trendy piece, but I am okay with it. I have added one waistcoat to my wardrobe this year, so even if the trend feels a bit over next year, I'm still okay with it. I haven't gone overboard. And this is why I update my capsule wardrobe seasonally. I don't believe that you can just create one and it's going to be forever timeless and you're never going to have to update it again. Technically, you don't have to do anything, but I feel like it's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking something is going to be classic and timeless, and then it feels a little bit out of trend next year. And I prefer to just sparingly participate in the ones I think are worth actually adding, instead of just thinking that I'm above it all, because I'm not. So this one has been a great find this year. I've had so much fun with it, and I absolutely cannot put together a capsule wardrobe without a blazer. So I have a oversized linen blazer that is just a great layering piece for those days where I need something a little bit more warm than a cardigan or even the shirt. So it's nice to have one dedicated layering piece, but I feel like that's probably enough for summer. And I really love the neutral shade of this. As you can tell from the color palette I've gone for, it's very, very neutral. It's not leaning too warm. It's really only the accessories that are adding warmth to these outfits. Otherwise, they're not leaning too cool or too warm. I find it much easier to pair together that way. And I do have two accessories that are more on the dressy side as well. I have a pair of shoes, and I'm really happy with the shoe collection in my capsule wardrobe this year. This is also a very recent pair that I have from And Other Stories, but I have looked at these. I definitely looked at these last summer as well and decided against it because I was worried it was going to be uncomfortable. But this is actually a surprisingly comfortable strappy sandal. Obviously you have a thicker heel, so it really doesn't feel like a difficult heel to walk in. And then you have a stretchy strap that goes behind your heel that is super, super comfortable. And these as well are really soft and cushioned. So this has been a really surprising find for me. I have even wanted to add these in black because of how good they have been, but I obviously already have two pairs of black shoes in this capsule wardrobe, so I think we're not going to do that. We're going to get by with these. Finally, I also have a more dressy handbag. This is a beautiful handbag from Leo Violette, and I just think it is such a perfect dressy handbag. I've gotten so much use out of this already. I love that it's in white, very, very summery, and the shiny patent leather is just really adding so much fun texture to it and really dressing up my outfits, especially because I have so much linen in this capsule wardrobe. I really like the contrasting texture of this handbag to add a little bit of interest to my outfits. It does also come with a crossbody strap. It's a good size that still fits a fair amount of things. And this, I think, just has so much range. It can dress up the casual everyday outfits, but this is also cute and small enough to bring along as a wedding guest handbag. So I just think it is such a versatile handbag. I absolutely love it. It's one of my summer favorites for sure, and it's also just a beautiful, beautiful quality. So that is my entire summer capsule wardrobe. This is a very long video, so if you made it to the end, thank you very much for still being here. Maybe put a sun emoji in the comment section down below. I'm very, very grateful if you watched this far. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it if you would consider doing so. You know, it's free. I love talking about wardrobe essentials and curating a high quality wardrobe. I love handbags, so if that is your vibe as well, I would love to have you join the community. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you very shortly in the next video. Maybe one of these. Bye!